Increasing Sung Jinwoo's power is one of the most important things to your overall progression in solo leveling Arise. It opens the door for a lot of content for you, so I know that this is something that a lot of you guys have been looking for. Maybe you've already mastered this, or maybe you're a newer player. Today's video, we're going to talk all about that. We're going to talk about all the ways to improve your Sung Jinwoo's power. What are the biggest swing factors to keep in mind? Because there's going to inevitably be a lot of players that are like, I'm level 56 and I've got a power of 100,000. We're going to talk about all of those different variables. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys are new, my name is DFree. I make solo leveling Arise content, among other things. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if the video is helpful, the best thing you can do is watch as much of it as possible. For one, every minute counts, and hit that thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, so we're going to start off with stats. We'll move on to some other basic stuff like job change, Sung Jinwoo level, things like that. So overall, as you see, the most investment is going into strength currently. Whenever the cap raises, this may or may not change, but it probably will just stay the same. The reason why no other stat is invested in is because some of them are just flat out not all that good. But the real one that's kind of the one that you would be considering investing in is precision. However, the way that the game functions, you don't necessarily need to invest too much here. If you're a longtime viewer, there was a time where we were like, okay, invest in precision and strength, and there's still value in that. In fact, I think in certain circumstances, you can reset Jinwoo and push him that way. But the reason why you go mainly into strength is because when you are taking on a piece of content that is too strong for your team and you have that red power level above you, that means that you're getting penalized for taking on content that's too hard. So all these other stats start getting peeled off, but the attack stat is the one that persists. So that's the way I understand it. So that means that you want to invest the most into strength. And I think strength also yields the most total power gain anyway. So right now you see my Sung Jinwoo, he's at 49,000 power. That is only with weapons, no artifacts or equipped or anything like that. That's the base for him. So, well, not the base. This is the base for real. So I wanted to kind of start this off by showing you the process of me unequipping 2 weapons and what that does to my power. It took about 6,000 off. I was looking at the numbers down here. I don't remember exactly where my total power was. So 27,000 off from those 2 weapons. And so off the top, you see that weapons play a huge role in the overall power of your Sung Jinwoo. So that's where you're going to see some people are like, oh, I've got this power level at certain levels, things like that. It does not matter what overall level your Sung Jinwoo is, right? It does matter because as you raise your level, you can then from there take on harder job quests, which I meant to bring this up, so we'll backtrack a little bit. But make sure that you're completing this. This seems pretty obvious, but there's going to be somebody out there that hasn't done these job rank quests. And as you see, they increase your total power. They give you more stats, which also increases your power. So these happen several times. So that's part of the reason, too, how you can get more power. But anyway, the reason why level is important is because it opens the door for that type of content. But as you see, the base level doesn't really swing a ton, right? That's why people can be level 50 or 60 or 70 and have like 5 times my current showing power here or 6 times, whatever it is, because a lot of it comes from weapons and artifacts, right? Again, level is important. You want to max them out as soon as you can for various reasons. But that's what I wanted to kind of explain here. This is just base power for the most part. If you're not already supporting me through the content creator program, by the way, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys did. We're trying to hit a goal of 500. The link is down below in the description. And by doing so, you guys can get the chance to take part in some giveaways from me. Also, we can give you guys for free some gifts in your account every time Netmarble sends me some. Last time around, it was 1,000 Essence Stones that all of my supporters got. If you want that to be you while I'm stuttering, make sure that you support me as well. Thank you. So the only other thing that's happening here that's not base is skill level, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's a very minor thing, though. So let's backtrack to the weapons. So each weapon, based on the rarity, has a predetermined stat spread, right? So all these level 40 SR weapons have the exact same attack and HP as you see on the side here. They all have the same. However, what changes is the precision stat. Precision is not applied to any weapon if there are no dupes invested. And if there is less or more dupes invested, then they get more precision, basically, right? So that's how you would consider this. And so when you equip these weapons, all of these stats are getting funneled into Sung Jinwoo's overall stat spread. So for an example, let's look at his attack and precision, 53-54 and 30-80. If I just put on this here, his overall stats jumped. So 8,000 now and 7,000 for precision. So those weapons are feeding into that, which then, as you see, spikes his power further. Obviously, the HP is also changing as well. So long story short with this, having duped out weapons that are max level matters a lot. Okay, that matters a lot. And it's not only duped weapons with max level, there's a rarity spread on this too, because this is a highly duped out SR weapon at max level. It's arguably still the best weapon in the game, by the way, the West Wind. But you see the stat spread difference. In terms of just sheer power, this SR will never compare to the same weapon or to a higher rarity weapon with a near max limit break on it, basically. So it's never going to compare because of the sheer stat differences here. And so when I change this, my stats are going to dip, and then also what's going to happen is the power dips. So that's kind of how that works. So if I put on two weapons that are A5 like these two, my power is going to jump tremendously. If you put on other weapons like this one that isn't max level, but let's just assume it was, that doesn't have any dupes, there's no precision invested. So even a level 100 weapon with no dupes is still not as strong as another weapon that does have at least one dupe. Even a level 60 with a dupe in it probably is better than a level 100 in terms of just sheer stat gain. Now, that's a little bit different in terms of the overall damage you're doing, but just looking for the power level increase, that may or may not be true. All right, so the next thing I wanted to kind of talk about is before we move on to artifacts, which is another huge thing, I wanted to talk about skills. So the skill level also, the higher skill levels are, determines the overall power for Sung Jinwoo, but it's super minor because here's the deal with these, right? What happens is as you level these up, so they can get leveled up by getting higher level runes, because as you see here, Mutilate increases level by 2 when you have it in your codex. So like by default, it levels itself up kinda, but you still can level them up yourself by investing in them. In fact, I'll even show you what happens here when you do that. Let's push on to Death. Where's Death? Let's level Death up once. So these QTE skills are a little bit different because you can't get the duplicates of their runes. They can't level themselves up. You have to actually level these ones up manually, coincidentally. But look what happens when I push this in. It's not going to give me too much stat gain. It gave me 13 points. So that's kind of what happens with these skills. I don't think that there's any difference, even if it's the ultimate. I don't think it really spikes your damage all too much, or your overall power all too much. Your damage, yes. The damage goes up tremendously, but that does very minor things in terms of increasing your overall power level as well. So I just wanted to point that out because, I mean, if I'm telling you all of the ways, that is technically one of the many ways that you can work on that. So I'm going to level that one up just personally. There's another 13. So yeah, have fun with that. If you're trying to build them up that way, that's going to be tedious. So it doesn't matter what skills you have equipped. It doesn't matter what blessing stones you have equipped. Those are more for just like your overall performance in battle, but they have no merit on the total power. If I were to equip a blessing stone because there's no stat gain to it or anything like that, they don't do anything. Okay. So let's move from here. The next thing is gems. Gems are huge. Gems are tremendous. So gems are broken down into 5 different categories, right? And so with the gems, they actually apply to all of your hunters. All these stats that you have here from these gems apply to all of your hunters. So this is kind of what all of my guys are picking up currently. With my own ones that I have here, I would like to get better ones. It's just a grind. It just takes time, as you see. But this all is being applied to all of my guys, including Sung Jinwoo. So this is a huge deal. So keep that in mind. So that's kind of where I guess it's not really the base power level, because I can't see the literal base because now this system exists. So anyway, that's one of the things that you have with gems. So you want to work on your gems as much as possible. If you're looking for sheer power level gain, the flat numbers versus percentages yield more power. So this one right here is attack gem 1.7. I don't have one here that's additional attack. Oh, I do. This 170 should be yielding more, if I remember correctly. So the flat numbers should yield more gain. But gems, again, it's a minor thing for Sung Jinwoo. It probably gave him like 5,000 power or something like that total. But it does help him, helps everyone out, so you want to worry about that. Now, this is where things are kind of fun, because you can actually make an argument. And in fact, I can show you said argument. Let's put on 2 level 100 weapons and see where his power goes to, with 5 dupes in each. By the way, as you add in more dupes of these, you start getting better. You start getting better power values as well, by the way, which is pretty obvious. It's pretty self-explanatory. You start getting better power values, so this is another thing too that'll kind of apply itself as you get more dupes, because what happens is as you advance more beyond the max, you start getting these stat gains. So yeah. And they keep going up and up and up each time until you hit the actual cap. So there's that. After that 5th dupe, that's what happens. And that happens with SR weapons as well. So that should yield power. If it doesn't, then I could be wrong on if it actually yields to the total power, but your Jinwoo will perform better. Anyway, so now artifacts. So he's at 49,000 with these 2 weapons. What we're going to do is we're going to take these off and we're going to auto-equip. Just let it auto-equip artifacts to him. Okay. Because I don't feel like, you know, personally. Oh, okay. Yeah, that there's no like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Just put these on then, I guess. He doesn't have the button that the other guys do to do recommended set. So he went up, what, 48,000 from putting the artifacts on? Yeah, he went up a good bit. So with artifacts, there are a couple of things that are happening here. So the base stat gain for the artifacts, like like I mentioned earlier, percentage versus that. Like you want a mixture of both, but that does matter a lot. And higher level artifacts, like the level 55 pieces here, if you have level 30, they're going to release level 70s next week for these sets as well. So it's going to, so when they release those next week, the power values on Jinwoo are going to spike like crazy. Because that's just crazy, right? I can't wait till the level 100 toughness set. My goodness. Anyway, they're going to spike like crazy when you have those level 70 plus toughness pieces, things like that. That has nothing to do with like the set bonuses. It's just the fact that the higher level will be there, right? And then on top of that too, what happens is that you have the rolls that you have. So this one's a plus 20 headpiece. You know, it has those stats on it. So as you enhance the artifacts individually themselves, obviously they get stronger, they get more valuable, and that helps increase the overall power. There's also a thing in here for set bonuses improving power, because when I change this piece off and I put on an expert piece instead, it's going to spike my power a tick more. So that's one of the things that I can also tell you that does, from experience anyway, matter a bit. So I'll just put this one on from Cha, whatever. This will spike him a decent bit, actually. I was like, wait a minute, huh? Who the hell just lost 14K? No, Cha lost 14K power. Let me change this one. It does that. I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? Why did he get weaker? No, let me reset this. Let me change it back. What piece did he have on? He had on this one, right? The dark damage one. Yeah, he gained 5K power from switching. Well, some of that too is also because it was a level 20. Let's put on this one that doesn't fit the set. So he's gaining 5K here. So I guess it doesn't really matter with the set bonus like I thought, which makes sense because I literally just a second ago said it doesn't matter. No, I'm tripping. That is the piece I want. Never mind. What's throwing me off is because I'm used to using the SR version that I have, or the rare, whatever, epic version, excuse me, that I have that does dark damage. So seeing the light damage threw me off. There's one down here that I typically use on Sung Jinwoo. Yeah, this one right here. So it kind of threw me off. But yeah, anyway, that is the one that I wanted. Let me see if I can put on a level 21 that's not from this set. I guess I'll just take this off him. That'll be my true test. Dongsu went down 74. We'll change back now to Cha's piece. +2. So I think what's really happening here is just what stats are getting boosted. This one's got a +3 on attack, which is pretty damn good. So I think that's kind of what's happening here. So all together with that, I mean, his stats have spiked a decent bit. So that's one of the ways that just with artifacts with no weapons, I have now pushed past that threshold that you need to get that last most recent costume here of 70,000. So with artifacts, what I can tell you is min-max them, level them up as much as you can. They yield about 40,000, 50,000 power currently. So that's going to go higher, like I said earlier, with the level gains, right? So that's one of the most important things. So when I put these weapons on, he's going to shoot another 30,000. He's going to be just above 100,000 right here. 130,000, my bad. Good Lord. I was way off on that. And so also another thing too with these is if you've got these pieces that are leveled as well too, they're gonna spike you even higher. Let's see if I can do that. We'll put the curse set on. Let's just unselect all of these, and I'll put curse on him. This is a good overall set for him. I don't think this is his best set. In fact, I think you're probably better off going 4 with 4 expert on the side. But regardless, I have 2 pieces that aren't leveled. I've got 1 gold piece though. 2 15, 3 15s, 2 20s, and just with changing that to higher level pieces, basically his power went up. Again, 2 pieces aren't even leveled, so yeah, higher level. This is the culmination of what I was talking about. Higher level pieces is going to really spike his power, and then you get into min-maxing set higher level pieces. That's the culmination of kind of what I was talking about. So all in all, I gave you guys all the rundown on how to max out Sung Jinwoo's power. So just go to recap here: job change quests, overall Sung Jinwoo level, obviously his stats, mainly strength investment, skills, yeah, kinda, but I wouldn't. That's not one I would worry about. Weapons, if you've got dupes in them, boom, ding, ding, ding. That's what you do. That's gonna help you out tremendously. And outside of that, artifacts. It doesn't really matter which artifact set you use in terms of power gain. You would primarily be looking for higher level, higher invested. You know, those are what you're really looking for, as shown here. That even that higher invested 8-piece that I had prior to this is not even reaching the same value as this technically in terms of just a flat number. Again, that has no merits on the actual performance. I mean, look at this now. He's worse, right? Because his critical hit rate's not 50% anymore. It dropped. Like there's variance here, but just in terms of the flat number, right? So that's what we tried to explain here. And also gems. Do not, if you have been, sleep on your gems. Gems are extremely important. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts, opinions, all that fun stuff down below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.